Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where unfortunately Lef's not with us. He's still mourning about Spurs drawing with Leicester. That wasn't a very good result for him, but we do have super sub Kevin Che. How's it, Kev?
Thanks, James. Good to be here in the hot seat.
You mourning as well?
Man United scored in the 93rd minute. I watched the Spurs game. The ref gave the penalty. It was never a penalty. I mean, it's supposed to be a deliberate
Well, he did
handball.
touch his foot.
No, the handball last night. It was last night. Anyway, they got 2-2. They got to go replay in the FA Cup. But yeah, good to be here. Hot seat, taking over from Lef. Warren Limferno. I've got big shoes to fill.
No, you got a decent shirt on as well.
Yeah, I thought white is the right colour, so we're going to go white.
Yeah. Just talking about, you got a bit of Fergie time, it seemed for you boys to score in extra time.
Yeah,
you were under big pressure there.
93 minutes, we get a penalty. Rooney slots it, and then he get booed going off. I don't blame him. Well, I really think we're in big trouble this year. We've got a lot of shining up to do.
What about Van Gaal? Is he going to lost?
Well, it says that I read the Man United website. He's safe at the moment. I think they can't afford to get rid of him. They're running out of money.
The Glazers will never run out of money. But as far as the rest of the boys are concerned, Leicester still showed that even without Vardy, they played great football against
very good result. I thought Spurs put a lot of pressure on them in the second half, and they defended well. And I just thought it was a bad decision from the ref. Should never have been a penalty.
My team's still flying.
Yeah, you're going well. What can you do? There's something else. Somebody's got to be going well when the good ones are going bad.
Well, we got a couple that went well during the weekend. We're going to have a look at them, but we've got as our guest in your call someone who's you'll find very interesting. A man called Sydney Cassell. He's a very, very nice gentleman, owns a lot of horses, and it will be interesting to get some insights from Sydney as to what he thinks about the racing business. But let's go and have a look at 3 to follow.
His dad, Distorted Humor, he's probably one of his best sons at stud.
I'll have another, wins the Derby. I'll have another in the Preakness. Lilacs and Lace, 48-1, upset.
He's just a big, strong, leggy horse.
Well, we're going to have some fun with this show because last week on Thursday was the opening night of Maidan. It was the first race of the whole 3-month series, and you've been involved in all of this, so you know what it's all about, this Maidan business, you know?
Yeah, James, you know, as you put the TV on and you hear the voice of Terry Spargo, you know, it's dollar time. The dollars are Mark de Kock. Yeah. I had 10 years experience, so it gives me goosebumps, and I just love watching the racing on Thursday night.
Just give us a little insight of the preparation that goes into these horses and the planning that goes into these horses to get them there. Because Mike had I think he had 7 runners on the night, or 9 runners. All the old boys, he said it was the pensioners brigade, and Star Express, Star Empire won.
9-year-old, he has 4 runs a year, stays like a poor relative, and he came out and won. Sam Hitchcock having his first ride for Mike. I mean, I see Mark's giving Wayne Smith another chance. I wouldn't say another chance, starting to give him rides again. Yeah, he's got 2 or 3 runners in a race, but yeah, as you say, the preparation, James. Before the carnival, when you get there, normally a month before the carnival starts, you normally leave middle of December and you have your Christmas there and everything. But Mark would have had all these horses planned in the program, in the carnival, because it's not like a normal thing. You've got 3 months and that's it. Horse goes sore on you and you've got to scratch him and you've got to try and look for him another race. Mark's trying to qualify as many as possible for World Cup night. or into Super Thursday, which leads to World Cup night. So these horses are all planned, and I mean, as you'll see, there's 2 or 3 horses sometimes nominated in 3 different races on the night, and it all depends on how they're doing at work and that. But it's a hell of a preparation. And after every race meeting, Mark's back in the program again, and he's scratching out and changing. And it's too short. He had the horse in a 1400 now, and Christoph said no, he must go 1800. So it's chopping and changing all the time. It's intense. You have your Friday off because it's your Friday is your Saturday, and Dubai Thursday night is your Friday night. Friday is your day off where you can relax and everybody gets together and has a good lunch, and they have those brunches. Start at 11 and finish at 5 in a pericoma.
Yeah.
Get all
Eat as much as you can.
Eat as much as you can. Drink as much champagne as you can for a set price. So we take a liberty, and you get it all out your system that week again, and then the Saturday you start again. It's racing is on the Thursday. It's intense, and everybody's back to the routine, and it's good fun.
Well, let's just get to the races. You obviously watched the meeting on Thursday night. It's very exciting, and Mike had a couple of horses that looked like they had chances, and they all looked like they ran pretty well. And obviously, I'll talk to him again next week. But Star Empire was just fantastic. The way he came down the middle of the track and mowed them all down.
Yeah, I was quite interested, quite shocked to see how heavy the going was. And I know they do leave the grass wrong, but I think they've had a lot of rain over there. It looked heavy over there. And Star Empire being the stay, I mean, that's the shortest of his 4 runs he has a year he runs. And he mowed them down. He won a good race. He's a genuine horse. I mean, I rode him. If he's a 9-year-old, then you must know I rode him as a 2-year-old.
4 years ago.
Yeah. So I used to ride him, and he's a lovely horse. And Michael aim him at the Gold Cup on Dubai night, which is 3,000 odd meters.
And he'll run thereabouts. He'll be
guaranteed. He stays there. But a lot of the horses you see that ran on the first night, not too many international horses. A lot of the local horses, Ali El Rey, Doug Watson.
Well, he had 4, didn't he, Ali El Rey?
Yeah, he's firing, and the horse that won the Maktoum Challenge won the horse of his Al Bernardine. I mean, they backed it to favourite in quite a tough field. I mean, it's only a mile, but I mean, he won a good race, and these guys will be competitive on Super Thursday and World Cup night.
Well, why we are talking about this is because the first one of our 3 to follow is a horse called Prayer for Relief that Mike got from, I think, Del Romans in America, owned by the Zayats, and we'll talk about that after the race. But what a race this horse ran. Put him in pencil him in, he'll probably go for Maktoum Challenge leg 2, but pencil him into your book because he ran a fantastic race, and he's got some class, this horse. He's in the blue and yellow colours on the outside. Let's pick him up.
Yeah, no, James is, he comes out like very sluggish, and you can see Christoph's like hard work at him. And unfortunately, as you know now, this is a sand track now. Same as the Vaal, you see horses, it's very difficult to actually tuck in behind and get a lead from a horse show because the kickback is so intense. And we've heard from Mark, even from last year, the kickback is very intense. He's on the fence there at the moment.
No, he's at 3 wide.
Not at the fence,
sorry. Blue blinkers, you can see him, widest of all.
Right on the outside. He doesn't want to get too much of a cover, but he's quite close to the horse behind him, so he's not getting kicked back in his face. And you see Christoph is just following the Sheikh Hamdan horse over there. And the rest of the horses, I think the winner is actually on the inside with Tag O'Shea on. And you can see they're going a fair lick. I mean, James, you get into the 800 meter mark, there's a lot of guys under pressure. You can see Christoph scrubbing him along now. Also keeping him out the kickback, which is very, very important. And I mean, the guys are hard at work over here now. Christoph actually gives him a couple of smacks now to get him into the race. You can see he's got to get him going because this horse definitely looks like he wants further. Right on the outside, he's hard at work at him. These horses are really going, a good clip. I can't see. At the moment now, it doesn't even look like he's going to run a place.
But what a run, because here he's 5th at the moment. The horse on his inside with the white blinkers looks like that's going to beat him. And then Christoph changes stick to his left, and he starts running on again. And this was a really, really gutsy performance. He absolutely flew. And one more stride, he's got them.
I say in a stride or 2, he's got them. But the horse in front, the speed they were going on that surface, they have to slow down. And there's one thing about the Dubai racing there, they go a good pace. So that's why a lot of South Africans go over there and they give the horses a bit of a chance in that. But Christoph knows, he's been there a long time. But I mean, look at that run. I mean, I think the next leg of the Maktoum Challenge is 10 furlongs.
Yeah.
This also be a very big runner, and I think it's run on Super Saturday.
Super Saturday, yeah.
That's where they run the next, the 10 furlongs, and they aim it towards, a lot of these horses aim towards the Dubai World Cup, and if they don't stay the 10 furlongs, they normally come down to the Godolphin Mile, which is a mile on the dirt. So it's a lovely race to win. And we had Lucky Farm that won this race, and in those days, I mean, Mark's won it a few times with some of his horses. It's a good race to win.
I was just so impressed with this horse, the courage he showed, when most horses would have packed it in. You know, he hasn't run for 8 or 9 months. In fact, the last time he ran was World Cup night. You know,
that's correct.
And,
yeah. So
and he ran a very good race there, I think, in the mile on World Cup night. But Mike told me this horse's feet were absolutely a nightmare to deal with. They had the shoes glued on and the whole thing. Declan's taken the shoes off, and 8 months or 10 months without shoes, got his feet right.
Yeah, listen, Declan is a master with the feet, and he's got his philosophies how to do it, and they take the shoes off and they leave them, they let the feet grow, and it helps him with their joints and everything. And when it comes to race time, Declan's got those feet nice and trimmed and ready for shoes, and they put the shoes on. But phenomenal run. For me, in the dirt like that is unbelievable.
And the other interesting point about this is it's owned by the Zayat Stables, and Zayat Stables own the best horse in the world.
Well, that's it, American Pharaoh, is it?
Yeah.
Mark's, I think he's very privileged to get these guys. He must have picked them up on his rounds doing the...
Well, he got matey with Dale Romans, I think, at some stage. I think he trained the horse, Dale Romans, and he trains for Zayat. And, you know, Mike does well for them. You never know what this might open up for him as well. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, Mark's always wanted to break into America. He's loved the racing there with Horse Chestnut and Epitombi going over there to win. But I think he's had a taste of the big scene now with Mumtaz, and I think he's going to want to go back and have a bit of fun there.
Okay, well, he wants to go and put Indian Charlie to bed because that guy was very rude about him, and I'm sure that Mike will have something to make Indian Charlie eat his words. If you haven't read Indian Charlie, go to indiancharlie.com. It's a great website. It's a newspaper written once a week by the biggest lunatic ever. He slates everyone. In this country, I'd get warned off if I wrote something like that. But we're going to go and have a look at the Vaal on Thursday, the 7th of January, and we're going to pick up the winner. This won very, very well, and this looks like an extremely nice filly. Alec Laird trained her. Let's go and pick her up at the start.
Yeah, James, drawn 14. Very impressive win, this polyphonic. Gavin Larena, it comes out racing. You can see this knows what to do. It's a completely natural. Comes out, Gavin riding at the top of his game, I must say. You can just see him, he's got it balanced. I would say it's in front over there, but it looks like there's a bias on the day. They're all going in. It comes from draw 14. It goes right the way into the inside. But I mean, James, at the moment now, he's got half the field. They realise that they've got to just keep up with this horse. Half the guys are just niggling along, trying to go with it. And Gavin, he gets them in this balanced mode, and the way he's riding at the moment is just phenomenal. And he's learned. I think he's learned from Striker Straight, and just keep a length or two in the bag, and you'll see. But the rest of them now are completely off the bit. Some of them are completely out the race. But the horses that are even going to try and take them on now, Gav gives them a little squeeze over there. I mean, he's given them a bar.
Yeah, the second filly is worth watching. She's beautifully bred. Her name's Mother Russia. She's out of Mother Russia by Tiger Ridge. She ran a very good race, only a first-time run for her. But this winner is owned by the Fast Fontaine, and it's a Judpot filly out of one of their best families, and it looked super impressive. Alec Laird is not renowned for stepping them out first time out.
Not at all. I mean, I rode for Alec Laird for many years, and if they've got a little bit of ability in that, he lets them go early in that, but he likes to just hold them back because he likes the classic races, the 3-year-old classic races. But for them to come out and win like that, that's something very special. Like you say, it's bred Jugpot. What a great stallion. We had Forest Indigo. I mean, I was fortunate enough to win his first Group 1, and it's just brilliant to see. He's just gone on, and he's getting better and better, and his babies are in demand now. I mean, when you see them winning like that, the people are going to stand to attention now.
Absolutely. We're going to move on, and we're going to go to Kenilworth on Saturday, Queen's Plate Day. It was just a fabulous race day. The Snaiths had a fantastic day. They won 6 out of the 12 races. I think they would have liked to win the big ones, but they didn't. And this juvenile we picked out, it was back to odds-on favourite. It looks like it can run, but it ran into a proper buzzsaw here.
Yeah, funny enough, James, I actually had a little bet on this horse Overdrive. I was quite confident after the groom's race, but it comes out very flashy. I mean, head in the chest. Bernard sticks his head in his chest, and the eventual winner on the outside with Washong mowing on, he's always chasing Bernard. He's just keeping Bernard in his sights because Bernard is really, really travelling well. But at one stage of the race, I could see that Bernard was in a little bit of trouble, and Washong's filly looked a lot bigger. The Rion van Rienen trained filly looked a lot bigger, but always lugging in a little bit.
Colts, Kev.
I mean, Colt, sorry,
okay.
James. Always lugging in a little bit, but Bernard, you could see, he doesn't really give her a hiding, but he shakes her up there now to get on the bicycle now. And the outside horse has definitely got a stone cold Washong. You can see it's going to go on it. He gives it a smack. Bernard never really gets into this filly. When I say hard, he never gives her a smack. You can see he's well beaten now. Washong not even pulling his stick either. There's a distance to the third horse, and he just pushes out hands and heels, and you'll see it'll come on tremendously from that run.
Yeah, it's a VAR owned by the Ruperts and Aventure bred it. Well worth having a look at. I don't know if have we got time to not just run through our blast from the past? We haven't got time for that because we're going to take a break. Okay, so we will be back after this race.
Gates are open, soft falling rain pulling clear, soft falling rains won the SA Nursery by 3.
Racing in the 2000 Guineas. Gates fly and they're racing in the Godolphin Mile.
They're off and racing.
Weight didn't matter. Class tells, soft falling rain, much too good. Soft falling rain, an impressive Guineas winner. Soft falling rain is drawing clear.
He's made it 7 out of 7 by winning here today.
But it's soft falling rain who is powering away. We'll see out the mile in style. A high-class performer wins the Nay of Joel Stakes.
There's the all clear, ready to race, and the starter sends them on their way. It's a perfect beginning. Shea Barney is the first to go off and make the running. Chief Warden, breathing down his neck, is not letting him get too far ahead of them. Priceless Acid is right there. Here's Aquanaut, right in the thick of things. He's only racing 2 lengths off the leaders, now in third. Here's the filly Wainui. Glenn Hatt has her on the rails. She's only 2 lengths off the leader. She couldn't have a better position. They are followed back behind these by the other filly Roland Song. She's also got a lovely position. Winter Winner followed them. Chief Warden been to settle back now in mid-division on his outside sea legs. Winter Winner back behind them. Here's the top weight. Jungle Warrior and Felix Coetzee. They're 8 lengths off the leader on the rail. On their outside came Our Knight. Blue Cossack followed them. On his inside Firestar. On his outside came Heir to Riches. Peregrine is second to last. The Rixon Duet second last and third last. And right at the back of the field, San Carlos trails them at the crossover. He's giving them 15 lengths advantage. Racing up then towards the 800 metre mark and out in front, Priceless Acid still doing the leading. He's clear just ahead. Racing in second on their outside, Shea Barney, third in this race last year. He's closer in touch than he was before. On the outside of them, Castleton. Wainui is still fourth on the rail, 2 lengths off the leaders. Aquanaut also couldn't have a better position. Dynamite Lady back behind him, running on. They've turned them homeward bound, the 1990 J&B Met, and it's Priceless Acid trying to lead the way home. But Glenn Hatt has pushed the button and Wainui has come to the fore. Jungle Warrior, one off the inside, is a big danger. Roland Song towards the inside, towards the outside, Our Knight, Allied Party and Winter Winner. It's Wainui and Jungle Warrior, the bottom weight and the top weight. What a duel, you couldn't get better. Jungle Warrior and Felix Coetzee with Aquanaut behind them. But Jungle Warrior defies top weight and comes forward to write his name in the history books. Jungle Warrior is the winner by a length. Aquanaut just got...
Well, the Mets in a couple of weeks' time, but that was the triumph for Eric Sands. I think trained Jungle Warrior. He was that horse. He just used to sleep in the box. He was a wonderful horse. He just
fantastic horse.
Cove,
I actually rode him in the July one, when we started the race meeting when Right Prerogative won.
Yeah.
And he was with Eric Sands, a fantastic horse. I mean, I don't think any of those jockeys there that rode in that race are riding today, James. I try to pick out their...
1990, so it's 26 years.
I think those guys are all the Felix Kutsis and
yeah.
Wanuis and yeah, but a fantastic race. As we say, we're looking forward to the end of this end of the month. We got a field of notes this year as well. They're all going to be clashing, and yeah, a great race. As you can see, the great Felix Kutsi. I think he won 7 Mets with a record with Millard. After that, brought all those champions out that came.
Mark Anthony and all those.
Mark Anthony and the Breathing Fire, the champions. Anyway, fantastic race. I can see nothing's changed. The same course, same distance, same everything there.
Yeah.
Just
except Hawkins not commentating.
and also more people on the race course.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go and have a look at our blast from the past. We've got quite an interesting one. I mean, our plum of the week. We've got an interesting one this week.
That inside running rail as they come down to the final 400 now. Sheltered is still in front. Preoccupation towards the inside. Nightingale switched out for a run. Also Garden Feature is coming on well. It's Nightingale who's now put her head in front. Up the outside, Garden Feature is trying to make a race of it. Preoccupation's back towards the inside, but Nightingale's in front and she's going away in the closing stages. And Nightingale's too good here. She's drawing away. Nightingale goes on to win it and to win it well. Francia got up for second. Preoccupation third. Sheltered behind that. They were then followed by Just Rock and Roll.
Well, this one's a good filly. If you'd listened to Understarter's orders, you got the graph Candace told you. She really liked this filly. She thought she'd come on and would win again. 5-1 into bet, as much as you liked, and had to be the bet of the card at Kenilworth on Saturday. And what is interesting about this, Kev, is it's owned by Mary and Jessica, the Slacks. Both farms own it.
It's fantastic.
And it's bred by Volgeborstrift.
Fantastic. I think it's great. I hope to see more of them, but you can see the Fortwood mare coming out of it, 2,000 metres. I think this thing will stay all day, and a lovely filly. Got going late, and one going away. You could see actually Washong at the end of the race actually put his hands down and just.
It wasn't Washong, it was Grand Finico.
The
Basses.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll get it right eventually.
Yeah. Washong's actually got the job as the stable rider for Maritzfontein and Volgeborstrift, which is a wonderful sponsorship, and I think he's very grateful for it.
Yeah, lovely 2 people to ride for, Jessica and Mary. They are so passionate about the game. Every time they have a winner and they're on the course, you'd think it's their first winner.
They told me that you got about 100,000 De Beers shares, from riding all those winners for them.
I wish.
Okay, well, we're going to move on and we're going to have a look at current affairs.
Yes. If you love soccer and you play the tote, you won't believe what Interbet has to offer you. All the excitement of tote betting on your computer or your cell phone. It's simple. Choose your teams and your bets, work out what your combinations will cost, see how big the pool is, and place your bets. You can even track your bet live as it happens and get updates on your progress. It's all the fun of the tote on your phone. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now at www.interbet.co.za and you could be a winner.
Right, well, we got some very interesting racing. We got the 4 big ones from Kenilworth. We're going to have a look at them in order of running. The race 6 was the Peninsula. Let's go and pick them up at the 600.
Further back to Royal Dreamer races in the red cap, and the white cap of Marchant is at the back of the field and about a dozen lengths off this leader. Milton still takes the field along as they come to the 700 and they start to take that angle into the home stretch. Milton is racing out in front from French Revolution, the red cap racing second. Helderberg Blue is just in behind that third, followed then by Crambambuli and Silicon Valley towards the inside. They're being followed by the Conglomerate, who makes a little progress down towards that inside running rail. Light the Lights is further back as they come on down to the final 400. Milton still gallops strongly in front. He's clear by a couple. French Revolution chases hard behind that. Now the challengers start to come on our video. Silicon Valley's running on. Light the Lights, Helderberg Blue. Right down towards the inside too. Marchant from the back of the field. But Milton is hanging tough. He's still in front in the centre. Light the Lights. Deo Juvento's taken off up the outsiders. Light the Lights who's coming at Milton now in the closing stage. And Light the Lights is going on. Light the Lights gets up to beat Milton. Deo Juvente, Helderberg Blue further back. They were followed by Master's Eye.
Well, perfectly prepped by Glenn Cotson for the Huttings, and Stewie rode a perfect race, got it at the right time, and probably get in the Met on that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. They'll be aiming at one of these big races at the end of the month, but he deserves a place like that. He looks like he stays well. A little bit of money from him, 12 to 1 to 10 to 1. I couldn't find him, but Stewie Randolph went down to ride King of Pain in the Met, and he's picked up a Group 2 winner. So well done to Stewie and well done to Glenn. Well deserved.
I thought it was extremely good run. I know that they thought a lot of him, but there are a lot of horses fluffed their lines there that look like they've really done themselves in for the Met. And so they look like they're going to be on the sidelines. It's going to be a strong field and hard to get into. Let's go and have a look at race 7, the Cartier Politician Stakes. Wonderful to have Cartier here. And apparently they've got quite a nice little goodie box, the guys that won here. Grade 3. These are for the 3-year-olds, and it certainly sorted out the men from the boys. Let's go and pick them up.
3 deep on the move comes Rabada. Cape Speed is sitting next. Behind that we've got More Than Grand. Up the outside of that one we find Tin Soldier. Then comes Eastern Charm and Black Arthur, cornered at the end of the line as they straighten up in the Cartier Politician Stakes. And Kamal Kavua at the 400 is in front, leading the way by 2 or 3 lengths. Nebula is on the chase. Up the outside we got Marineresco and Leash taking off together. Mugamere between runners. We're into the final 200. Kamal Kavua, Leash, Marineresco on the outside is closing in hand over fist. Back towards the inside. Black Arthur has taken off from the tail of the field. Marineresco, Leash, Kamal Kavua and Black Arthur is exploding through on the inside. Black Arthur mowed them down to win going away. Tight behind that, Marineresco and
Silvano, bred by Alec Foster and owned by him and his wife. They had 2 winners on the day that they bred themselves, and you've got to say they've been real stalwarts, the Fosters. They really love this business.
Yeah, it was lovely to see them getting interviewed on the TV from Neil Andrews and that. But this horse came from last, a typical striker straight and rider. Never at once did it look like it was going to win, and next minute just popped into the picture and won going away. And for me, I think this horse is this horse will start well. They backed him from 6 to 1 to 3 to 1, and they're betting. I think this will start favourite for the Derby.
Well, that's a big call for him to start favourite from the Derby. There are a couple of horses out there that think that they really can start favourite for the Derby, but he did win like a Derby candidate.
Yeah, I think he'll be going for. They'll be aiming. I heard Justin say on the TV that he thinks the Derby is his next test. But I looked at him afterwards in the lead-in area. He's a monster of an animal, and well done to Justin. Like you say, they had a great day, and Striker straight him at his very best. Come late and finish them off.
Yeah.
Break your heart as a jockey.
He certainly looked like a decent horse. The rest behind, I saw anything there that I thought looks like Group 1 potential, but you never know.
No, I don't think so at the moment.
Okay, we're going to go and have a look at a Paddock Stakes, which is always one of the big benchmarks for filly of the year. And I can tell you, this filly has put her name right in the middle of the ring. Smart call, winning the Paddock Stakes. She absolutely doddled it. Wonderful ride by Washong. Let's go and pick her up at the start.
Racing from that 1800 metre mark, Canacro Star was just a little bit slow when the starter said go. Getting away the quickest was Come Fly With Me and Harlem Shake. From a deep draw is also pushing forward. Then comes Smart Call. On the move on the outside, we got Pine Princess, who's going off in search of the lead. In Nora, the red cap, is setting to race about 5 lengths off the leader. Then we find Cat in the Moon, being followed by Bella Bella, who's sitting on the rail. A length and a half behind that comes Mouchoir, being followed on the inside by Star Express. A length and a half next we find Same Jurisdiction, and she's easily a dozen lengths off that leader. At a girth on the inside we find Deputy Rider, being followed by Moon Song Magic. Then comes Acro Star, Gallica Rose, Zante back one from last and racing at the end of the line. We've got Crystal Gavin, who's sitting at least 20 lengths off the leader, round the turn towards the 800. Harlem Shake sets the pace in the Main Chance Farms Paddock Stakes. Come Fly With Me and Pine Princess are side by side in second. A length and a half to Cat in the Moon. Smart Call is going to corner 3 lengths off the leader. A length and a half to Inara on the outside of Bella Bella. Then comes Same Jurisdiction creeping closer. Star Express, Deputy Rider. Next we got Acro Star, Moon Song Magic is sitting further back. Zante as they settle for the run to the line. In the Main Chance Farms Paddock Stakes, head towards the 400. Smart Call moves up on the inside of Come Fly With Me. Then comes Bella Bella. Inora's being let loose in the middle. Same Jurisdiction outside of her. First of all, we got Mouchoir. We're into the closing stages. Smart Call on the inside, being tackled by Inora. Same Jurisdiction is coming up the outside. It's Smart Call. She's finding more on the inside rail, and Smart Call comes home to win it from Inora, Bella Bella and Same Jurisdiction.
Well, that's proper Maritzfontein breeding by Ideal World out of a horse chestnut mare, Smart Call. As we've said before, she is smart. She's the smartest call around. The second filly I thought was extremely unlucky. She had to race wide, she couldn't get in, and she might be well worth thinking of as one of the leading lights.
Yeah, that's Inara you're talking
Yeah,
about. Yeah,
Inara.
right, wide the whole way. Eventually got in, but too late. Washong from a good draw was drawn 5. I think came into 4 with the emergency acceptor falling away. Put it in the right spot and never looked like losing. Same Jurisdiction. Anton, I thought, gave it a peach of a ride from draw 16.
Yeah.
Every chance. I personally think, and I think everybody else can say the same thing, she doesn't stay the 1800 metres. She'll go now for the Majorca.
Yeah.
Spoke to Duncan Howells yesterday. He says they're going to leave her down there, freshen it up and go for the Majorca. 1600, hope she gets a draw, and I think she'll be able to come back with a prize. But looking at that race, I thought the ride of the race was Anthony Delpeche beating Pine Princess. I've never seen him ride such a good race, but great ride from Anthony. Bella Bella.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. She ran a cracking race, Bella Bella. She might be worth thinking of later on. She looks like she's maturing up. But the Paddock Stakes, always one of the best fillies races of the season. Then we go on to the Queen's Plate. Now, before we get into the race, just a word of congratulations. Neil Andrews was superb. You know, his pre-race interviews really were interesting. He had some wonderful people there. He had to get a couple of ugly people like Beefy Botham and a couple of those guys, but he had some pretty girls there as well.
Yeah, no, he great. I mean, Neil did. I watched it. You did a good job, and he had some of the big stars from the bands and the rock bands, and I think that it was a great day. I see they made it work the whole day. They had him running up and down.
Mike and the Mechanics.
Mike and the Mechanics.
Yeah.
Stu Randolph.
He's a polo player of note, you know.
Yeah, Stu Randolph won the race for Glenn Cotson. He was more worried about getting the photo for the guys from the band than worrying about the trophy. Yeah, no, it was fantastic. It was. I got to give them Lamarance full credit. It was an absolute magnificent day.
Well, it certainly fitted in as part of the calendar. Let's go and have a look at the Queen's Plate, have a look at how that panned out.
Gates Fly racing in the Lomara Queen's Plate with Ashton Park a little bit slow, and King of Pain dropped back shortly after the break. Legal Eagle landed running, and that one is off to set the pace, and Legislate is racing in second, now being passed by Buchlet top. Act of War from a deep draw is also on the move to go and set up Handy. Then comes Noah from Goa, who's showing up on the outside of Futura, and those two are settling to race about 7 off the leader. A length and a half behind that comes Power King, who's sitting on the inside of Master Sabina. Then comes Gold Onyx and Heartland. Further back it's Night Trip. Captain America is racing towards the rear of the field, leaving only King of Pain and Ashton Park, the two at the back, and they're sitting 14 off the leader through the middle of the bend. 800 metres left to go, and Buchlet top sets the pace and leads the way. Racing in second, we got Legal Eagle. Then we find Act of War. Futura, the blue colours on the inside. Being followed by Futura, being followed by Legislate. Next we got Gold Onyx. Then we find Power King Racing next, and further back it's Heartland. Captain America's in the middle, Ashton Park, and King of Pain sees them all as they settle for the run to the line. 400 metres left to go. Buchler top, being tackled by Legal Eagle. Futura into the clear flashing. Legislate into the clear flashing. Noah from Goers coming up the outside. It's Legal Eagle with 200 metres left to go. That's in front. Along the inside, Legislate. Noah from Goa is starting to lift. It's Legal Eagle that's finding more into the closing stages. Legal Eagle wins it from in second. Legislate. Noah from Goa, Captain America, then came Futura.
Well, as he may well punch the air, Anton Marcus, he rode a peach of a race on this, but everything had a chance in the race.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Anton, Legal Eagle normally comes from behind. Anton just proved them completely wrong. Took it to the front. Sean was happy to see a horse give it a lead. Brooklyn Top give him a lead. And Peach of a ride. Noah from Goa, ahead behind Legislator. Mark de Kock stuck his neck out. He says he wants to see how good the 3-year-olds are. Yeah. Let's run against them. And I thought it was a fantastic run. And Captain America fell out the gates, came from last and ran fourth. I think he was the only horse that was a little bit unlucky in the race. Otherwise, I think every other horse had every chance, and it was a great run race.
Well, interesting that the 2-3-year-olds, Noah Fangola and Bella Bella, ran third in the two Group 1s with the older horses. The 3-year-olds aren't as bad as everyone seems to think, though. I think they might not be a bad crop.
Yeah, I think these ones have stepped up to the plate now, and the other ones have just fallen away by the wayside. But these ones have shown that there is good ones around. They can take on all horses.
Okay, we've just got a few moments left. California Chrome stepped out on the weekend.
Fantastic to see him win. Yeah, he's going, like you say, he's going for the World Cup, is he?
Yeah.
He'll be stepping to America, and I guarantee there'll be a big racing contingent following him as well, because the Yanks, they love it and they go there in a big way, so it'll be good for the World Cup night.
Dubai World Cup, right. You think that Stratham rode a lot of winners, okay? I know of a trainer, okay, who trained 6,000 winners so far. He's still training, and 421 stakes winners.
Yeah, that's unbelievable statistic. I mean, Striker Stratham got the full attention for 5,000. I don't think anybody even knows about the man who's had 6,000. You can tell us where he's from. And
his name is Alberto Pat Rodriguez. They call him Droopy. He's droopy because he tried to hold his pockets up that are full of all the cash.
Must be, yeah.
He's in Panama. He's a Panamanian. Unbelievable.
Yeah, fantastic. 6,000 winners. That is a lot of winners.
Just going on to Magic Millions, because Laf's just been at Magic Millions and did very well there. South Africans bought about $1.25 million worth of horses. It's about 12 million rands worth of horses, 8 or 9 horses. Very good sale. Michael Azzi bought a whole lot of them. But the interesting thing is that they had 6 millionaires at the sale. 6 horses went for more than $1 million. $1 million, 10 million rand.
Yeah, that's serious money. But I've been watching on the social networks and that about the sales. Ashley de Klerk's over there, and yeah, and it's an amazing thing. But they actually had the Magic Millions race this weekend. It was won by Capitalist. Yeah. Capitalist. He's a champion. Yeah. Ridden by Blake Shin and Peter Snowden, and
that's a $2 million race.
$2 million. I worked it out. I think it was 23 million rand race, and it's for 2-year-olds. And he's actually not even 2-year-old. 2 years old yet, he says, and he says in the website that the mayor of this horse, Kit, I think I got his Kitalanem or something, died a week before this race. So there's only one more baby left out of her. It'll be on the Magic Millions next year.
Okay, well, just a quick summary of the Magic Millions. They were up 26%. The aggregate. Sold 591 lots. The average was up 15%. Top price $1.6 million. We're going to be back with Sydney Castle. Well, Durban's an interesting place, and what attracts people to Durban is that there's always sun, the weather's wonderful, the racing's good, and there are quite a lot of nice people here. So we get these guys come on from Joburg, and we like to be able to get them on the show because the summer in Durban, you don't find many visitors, but Sydney Cassell come down from Joburg, and you always come down this time of the year, don't you?
Yes, yes. It's basically holiday time. We shut our factory middle of December, and it's closed for the whole month, so it's holiday time. So yeah.
And you got horses with Mace, and you got to get them ready for this time of the year.
Well, I don't go to horse racing unless I've got a horse running. So it's like I always say, I don't go to a school concert if my kid's not singing or playing in the concert. I don't enjoy racing unless I'm really got a horse running myself. So when I'm down here in December and I've got nothing else to do, racing's what's going to keep me busy. So I try and get horses on the track for December, but it doesn't always work in our favour, does it?
You were a bit unlucky yesterday, last race. It looked like you might win that.
Yeah, I think, I don't think the jockey made any mistakes. It's just how it happened there. She's got a very short running because of a breathing problem, so he couldn't bring her out too early. Second is better than third.
Sydney, are you a gambler?
Yeah.
You like to have a bet?
Yeah.
No, that's what it's all about, isn't it? That's what gives you the rush.
That's right.
And have you always been a gambler?
Unfortunately, yes.
But
I think life in Joburg is a gamble.
I agree with you. I agree with the philosophy. We all gamble in our lives.
Yeah.
So, you know, people that tell me they don't gamble, they're talking absolute hogwash.
Well, in business is a gamble. Being on the stock market is a gamble. Horse racing is a gamble. And you can put money on a horse or you can just own a horse. It's all a gamble. When you buy a horse at a price, you don't know if it's going to run. You don't know if it's going to see the track. It's all a gamble.
How did you get involved? How was your formative years, school years, whatever?
It all really started the gambling started in varsity.
Yeah.
You have to make an extra buck wherever you can. And got involved with a couple of people that were into racing, and that's where the racing started. But that bug sort of after when I started my business, I stopped racing completely for many, many years. It was back in about 2000, I think 2005 or 2006, I met a guy, I think Craig Kitching was at my New Year's party and told me he owned the horse Silver Point, and I had just run second in the July that year and started talking about horse racing. And yes, when the days that I was gambling, I always thought I wanted it. In fact, there was a guy who bred horses many years ago, Barry, whatever his name was, and I said to him, breed me a horse, black horse with 4 white socks and I'll buy it. Yeah. And he said to me, Sid, that's kind of impossible, you know. And yes, the temptation was always there, and I always thought that racing was a lot more expensive to own a horse than. And Craig Kitching came and he said to me, come, there's racing tomorrow night, let me go and introduce you to some of the guys. And that was the Flamboyant Stakes on the 1st of January.
Okay.
And we went over the racecourse and he introduced me. The first trainer that we bumped into happened to be Mace walking out of the pub. And he introduced me and said to me that Sid's looking to possibly get involved in racing. And Michael said to me, well, come to the stables tomorrow and I'll show you around. And me and the kids, 5 o'clock in the morning, next morning off to the stables, had a look around. And yes, I was ready to get involved. And then he said to me, well, you know, you've got to wait for the sales, you've got to buy the horses at the sales, it's happening in April, and you're anxious, you want to get going. And I couldn't wait for April. So Michael said, well, myself and Chips Pennells are going to Australia in 2 weeks' time or 3 weeks' time, I think the middle of February, for sales in Perth. He says, if you're serious about owning a horse, make sure you're on that trip. And I was. I literally rushed into making a booking and off to Australia. We went to buy horses. And I bought my first 3 horses, all 3 colts in Australia, Indecent Obsession, Majestic Night, and what turned out to be my best horse ever, Dauntless Delance.
So, Australia was the start. But the interesting thing is that you name your horses after your company. A lot of your horses get named after your company.
Products in my company.
Delance, yeah.
Either or. Either I name the horse and then release a product,
yeah.
Or I've had a horse's name and then either or.
Well, I just know that you got Jacqueline Jessetta. That's a product of yours?
It's a perfume called Jacqueline.
Yeah, called Jacqueline Jessetta. Okay.
We had Bold Princess, which was a female perfume. We had Eternal Fire, was a female perfume. We had Dauntless Delance, which was a male cologne.
Hot Ember?
Hot Ember, that's right. She was already named, and I named a product range after her. And then a new one coming out called Wanted Man, which happens to be one of my top fragrances for men.
All right, let's go back to the perfume business. You went to, where did you go to varsity where you met all these reprobates? It had to be, was it Wits?
Yeah, it was Wits.
You met all the reprobates, so you met the right guys.
Oh, we used to sit in class playing clubbies and go to the library and play bridge, and so the gambling all started there.
So you're a card gambler?
Yeah.
Do you still gamble with cards?
Not really. The guys have all disappeared and moved away. Bridge is not. I haven't played clubbies for probably 30 years.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I haven't played bridge for about 10 years. So, the people you play with move away, and that's the end of it.
Varsity, what made you start this company? What happened after varsity? How did you get involved in Delance?
I was working. I did varsity part-time. So I worked during the day, or supposedly. And then went to varsity in the evenings. So it was very hard at that time, and I did it for 7 years. I never qualified. I never finished up. I started my business.
Were you doing a doctorate?
I was doing a CA, a Bachelor of Accountancy.
Yeah.
Financial side. So I did articles the full 5 years, and then I stayed on with the same company for 2 years after that. So for 7 years, I basically worked in the accounting direction. And then I started a business in partnership doing accounting. And it just so happened that in the first 6 months got exposed to this sort of environment, and that's where I started Delance Cosmetics. I actually started it, somebody else wanted to start this sort of business, and I started in partnership with them, and I ended up doing everything, and they pulled out, and I carried on.
What do you know about fragrances? Or do
it's called a lifetime experience.
You just learn.
You learn, yeah.
And has it been good? Are you happy doing a job? Because a lot of people are not happy doing the job that they do.
Well, I enjoy what I do, and that's why I'm still doing it. I've been doing it for 33 years now. One of the reasons why I got involved in horse racing was because I got bored with what I was doing, but I do enjoy it. I work with different people every day. I'm in a different environment every day. Nothing is the same. Every day is a different environment, a different experience.
Sydney, tell me about the cosmetics business, because you sell sort of through reps and that. You've got reps working for you.
Yeah, they call them reps. We don't sell retail. We don't sell to stores or supermarkets or anything. We sell to private individuals. So we have a catalogue, and they take the catalogue and they go and sell to their friends and their families and whatever the case is, and we sell to them. So they consultants or reps or agents, call them what you want to. So we sell to them, and they sell on to the public.
We've got to take a break. We've just got to have a look at our Magic Millions winner. You've been talking about going to sell Midnight Spy, Purely Atomic, the 2 Magic Million winners, and they were sold at the Perth sale and the National Weaning sale. Purely Atomic and cost a log out of catching moonbeams. So it just shows you that's what ran in the ladies' bracelet. But a couple of nice ones. But just getting back to Delance, because how do you name it?
Comes from one of the original founding partners. Delance Holmes was one of the guys who I started the business for. Yeah. Never came up. He was supposed to put up the money, and I was supposed to put up the work and the knowledge, and he never came up with the money, and hence the name was formed already, and that's where I carried on with the business.
And today you own it
solely.
Solely own it. Yeah. And do any of your other family work in the business?
Almost everybody. My wife's permanently involved, Charmaine, on the financial accounting side, and my son has now joined, getting to know the ropes.
Yeah. Just talking about your son, you've obviously got twins. No. Grandchildren that are twins.
No, I've got no twins.
Oh, okay.
No.
So you've got
my son and my daughter. My daughter is Rowan, and my son is Michael.
Okay, who's Dylan and Carmen and Kaylin?
Haven't got a clue.
I was looking on the website and I saw all these pictures of all these children. It said my angels. So I thought that they must be your children. Just shows you I should have
Me
asked
saying
you.
my angels?
Yeah.
No, I don't know them.
It was amazing because I was looking on your website and it probably got interlinked with another website. which was a perfumery website, and it was completely different to you. So I'm sorry for that, but
No, my
just shows
children, the only children I know of is Rowan and Michael.
Okay, and are they involved in horse racing? To
Michael's very much, yes. He's been. The whole family loves the horses.
Yeah.
Rowan is now living in Aberdeen, and Michael's still in Joburg and very much involved in horses.
Did they ever ride horses?
Michael was involved in riding, not Rowan. No.
No.
I think she did ride once upon a time at a game reserve and got wiped out in the trees and things like that. I think that frightened her off horses for life. But no, very much love the horse, love the animal.
Which is normally what it's all about. You know, you get on a horse for the first time, you don't really know what you're doing, and you got no control. And obviously,
yeah, well, that's what happened to her. But Michael, he was schooled in riding, and he did riding. I rode anything. I used to play Boerensport, bareback, and drinking and partying on horseback and things like that.
So you actually come from a horseback family, you know?
No, not really. It's just growing up in the Free State.
You end up riding.
Yeah, you end up riding. You do whatever you can for entertainment.
Sydney, horses are an amazing passion to have, aren't they? And they're time consuming, and you're obviously passionate about them. But racing is something different. How do you see racing in this country?
I think we're lacking, you know, because of the block of horses being able to be exported and the international money coming into the country. Our prize money is not in relation to what we pay for horses and what they cost us. You know, our prize money needs to be a lot higher than that. And I think that's what's the problem. The sponsorships, they are there, but we need to have a lot more money coming into the game.
How do we get around something like that? You're an intelligent businessman. How do we get more money into the game? Because prize money is a huge factor.
I think that my personal feeling is that if the boundaries that are blocking us for international involvement, if they can go, if our horses can freely move without these quarantines. I mean, now if you send a horse to race in Dubai, you're sending it off in July already the previous year. So you're losing a whole year to get your horse to Dubai. If we can put our horse on an aeroplane, fly it out, get to Dubai and race like the other people are doing, there'll be more money automatically into the game.
Yeah, you make the wonderful point. That is the whole thing is we need international involvement, and
funding.
we start dollars and yen and all those type of things start flowing in here. But the stake spot, just talking about, is very interesting. In 2000, the stake spot was half what it is now. It's doubled in 16 years, and I think the cost of living has gone up quite considerably. And I think that certainly training fees have gone up quite considerably. Is there enough horse ownership in this country? Should we not be getting more people in?
There should be more people involved. The problem is there's a lot of people that get very negative about horse racing. They do the wrong thing, or they're involved with the wrong people, and you often hear is I got stung, you know, or that's a mug's game or whatever, you know. There is a lot of shady characters involved in the industry, and there's a lot of shady characters involved in any industry. Maybe in horse racing we come across them more frequently than but there's too many people out there that think that horse racing is a bad game. We're dealing with gambling, we're dealing with money, we're dealing with ownership and passion of horses. You know, you've got so many different directions of people mingling with each other. And I think on the whole the problem is that anything that involves money and gambling or whatever is always going to have a...
But everything, whatever you look at, there's always shady dealings in any type of business. If you look at the stock market, there's insider trading. If you look at any business that people are involved with, there are people that have got an advantage. But the one thing about racing, and I think that we don't use it enough, is that the people that are involved, that buy horses and own horses, are the creme de la creme and the echelon of South African society.
Yeah.
And would that not be
it's a game of kings.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's a game of kings, and it's obviously the more affluent people that would be involved in horse racing.
How do you see yourself going on here? Are you still keen to go and buy one? Would you like to really have a top horse? I suppose that's a stupid
Well,
question.
I think that's always our dream. That's what we're striving for all the time, is that one. I remember meeting Graham Beck many years ago, my first sale in Johannesburg, and Michael had introduced me to him and said, Sid's buying a couple of horses, and he said to me, my boy, you only need one. Which is true, you only need one, but how many do you have to go through to find that one? And that's what we're all dreaming about, that one that's going to go on to win the July or go on and win the Met or the $1 million race, CTS $1 million race, which is coming up this weekend, I believe. Yeah. We all want that one, but how many do you have to go through to have it? I started off by buying horses on the sales. Yeah. Then I bought good fillies, I bought good mares, good pedigrees and all the rest. Now they end their racing, so what do? The natural thing, you find a stallion to cover them with. And so you start breeding.
Oh, you're breeding.
So you start breeding as well. Now, everything you breed, you think is the champion. Yeah. So you're starting to try and race everything you breed. And I'm saying to myself, would I have bought that horse in the sale if I had to go and buy it? And the answer is no, I wouldn't have bought every one of the horses that I bred. So I'm thinking...
Therein lies the secret. You look at them and say, if you wouldn't buy it, put it on the sale and sell it. Let someone else buy it.
But you only know it doesn't run once you're running it.
That's only after it's run.
This is another problem with horse racing. How many people buy horses and that horse never sees the track or never wins the race? I've been fortunate that I have bought good quality horses. To date, I've had 40 winners in my own colours, and I've had 3 winners in shared colours. Yeah. So I've had 43 winners, and I've only been in racing for, about 8 or 9 years. Yeah. So I've done pretty well, I think, from that point of view, but what's eluded me is the group races. I haven't had a group winner. So out of 40 wins, I've never had a group winner, or a listed race winner for that fact. The best I've done is run second in a group race.
But you know, Sydney, that is the big thing with this business, is that if you have a goal, you've got to set out to get to that goal by purchasing the certain type of horse to get there. Some people just like to have winners, okay, that they can back every week. Some people like to have the top horse. If you like to have a top horse, I don't think you should be a betting man, because then I think a horse has got to go through a completely different regimen to get there.
But you can't let your horse run without weight on its back.
You're going to love to have a bet. Well, what interests me is that you ended up finding Michael Roberts by chance. Now, he's a legend, this man, okay? Tell us a little bit about him and how you dealt with him, because people don't understand what a legend, what an important icon he is to South African racing.
I'll tell you, one of the things that really impresses me with Michael is, and I've stuck by him through thick and thin, we've had ups and downs. Yeah. His passion for the horse. He's got an absolute passion for horse. He knows his breeding, he knows what a good horse looks like, and you're going to pay for the horse that he likes, because when he's done his story at the sales, he gives you a short list. You must know that's a short list of the 5 top horses at the sale. So if you want any of them, you must know you're going to highlight and vase. But he's got a passion for horses, and he looks after the horses. You know, I've had one horse run on a Tuesday and then again on a Saturday, and he's explained to me exactly, over and over why he was doing it and how he could. Otherwise, he doesn't push the horses. I know a lot of people criticize and say he doesn't run the horses enough, they stand, but there's reasons. Every horse has got problems, it's got leg problems, and somehow or another everybody with problems seem to want to send their horses to Michael, because he's going to get them on the track. And he's done a good job, eh?
And you've had a few horses with Lucky Hoodalakis. There's an entertaining man.
Nice, very nice guy, very entertaining. Yes, we have great fun together. And also the reason for that is to have horses closer to Joburg. You know, my wife, my son lives in Joburg. I live in Joburg when I'm there. But it's easier to go to the Vaal Racecourse or to Turfentine than to come all the way here. So just to enjoy the horses more is to have them down there. We have great fun going to the Vaal with Kelvin and the guys over there. Great social environment. So it's more entertainment-wise.
Just in summing up, when you look at it now, something you got into by pure chance, are you happy to have been involved?
Yes, every day, every experience has been brilliant. There's been a lot of ups and downs. The ups are brilliant and the downs are really down. You know, you have this horse that you're grooming as a champion, and You think this is the one, and then the next thing is got a knee chip or it bleeds or something like that. So the minute you're up there, 1 minute you're there, and the next minute you're right down at the bottom. But the highs definitely outweigh the lows.
Sydney, thank you so much for joining us. We wish you the best horse in South Africa. That's what we'd like to see you get, because you deserve a horse like that. Many, many years of fun, and great having you in this business.
We all want that man. Thank you.
Sydney Cassell, thank you very much for joining us. And there's a man that's passionate about the business. And just to those of you out there who ever thought of getting involved in horse ownership, it shows you how easy it is. The big sale next week, CTS sale, that's coming up. Top of that, there's sales all the way through. We've got Bloodstock South Africa, we've got their big sales coming up at Franschhoek. And you're going to always get involved in a horse. All you've got to do is find a man to train it for you. He'll certainly put you in the right direction. Lots of winners to all of you out there. You hope you have a wonderful week. We'll be back next week.